Hans Pitchy Stockman back here, and we have Jimmy Boy running Silent Hill 2. Of course, go to donate.ozspeedruns.com to get your donations in. Plenty of incentives. You can check them at incentives.ozspeedruns.com. We have $10 here from PowerCell. Hope to see HS Blue run World's Hardest Game, and good luck to him if he does. I'll take that as $10 towards World's Hardest Game. We still need a lot to reach that 2,000 goal. So get to donating, everybody. And now Jimmy Boy's here to take us through a pleasant trip through a nice little moody town. Nothing bad's gonna happen, right?
No, nothing bad at all. Hello everyone. As Pitchy said, my name's Jimmy Boy. I run a lot of horror games and horror-esque games. And tonight I'm doing Silent Hill for the next sort of 45 to 50 minutes. This is technically New Game Plus because I've got an ending, separate ending categories, but I'll be setting up for both endings, and the incentives will be finishing sort of about 2 or so minutes before the end game portion of the game. I'll call it out. But we are playing on beginner, and riddle level doesn't really matter whether it's easy or normal, so we just pick normal. So that's start the timer now. Okay, so first for the NG Plus category, we've got to grab this blue gem because it is needed for the UFO ending. So we're just going to run out. I'm about to start with the first glitch of the game, which is called text storage. So the PC port of the game has introduced quick saving, and I have just bound that to a button on my controller, and when there's text on screen I can store that text and walk through triggers. It gets used quite a lot in this route, and you'll see game saved a lot down in the bottom left corner, because the other interesting use of the game saved icon is it actually refills your stamina, so James does not get tired at all. This man is a marathon runner. But yeah, so the first sort of part of this game is just running towards Silent Hill, taking in the atmosphere, taking in all the views of Silent Hill, all the white fog. Definitely a design choice, and not because the PlayStation didn't have that good a render distance. But yeah, so we're going to meet our first NPC soon. Before we go into Silent Hill, we're walking into the graveyard. Yeah, as I said, not much really happening in terms of speed tech at the moment. It's just going about the route and knowing exactly where to go after cutscenes. I will be skipping pretty much all the cutscenes. Depending on how we're doing for time, I may not skip one, just purely because it's my favorite cutscene, and sort of shows the absurdity that is the Silent Hill franchise. But, yeah, for now you guys get to just enjoy me running around, and you guys get to see games saved for a very long time. There's some other NG Plus items coming up, like the chainsaw there. We don't use that. We get to hear some creatures moving about in the fog. But all in all, just a fun time.
So is now a good time for donations?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I have some great news because we've reached $8,000 in
Nice,
donations.
nice.
And so I actually have just coming in here, beep, 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 coming in from the headquarters, message from the organizing committee in Morse code here. Huge thanks to everyone who, through subscriptions and cheering, is enabling our speedruns to keep on running our fantastic events. Due to the sheer volume of support, we are very proud to announce that for every subscription received from now onwards, we will be donating $2.50 of it to Beyond Blue. Once again, many thanks for your support, your viewership. Over $8,000 donated to Beyond Blue, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the event. So there you go. Get your donos in, get your subs in, use your Amazon Prime free month, I guess.
Very good. Okay, so we've now stored some more text. This is the longest text storage, so I'm just constantly mashing my right bumper, trying to keep that text on screen, as we're slowly making our way into Silent Hill. Another thing...
Any dogs here?
No dogs yet. We forgot where I was going with that. You took me off guard for a second.
Apologies.
No, that's all good. There is a soft lock that can happen if the game saved if the game is saving as you go into another area, the text changes. So when, for example, coming up when I pick up the apartment key, if that glitch happens with the last map, it actually says elevator. So I'm using this text storage to skip this trigger here. There's a giant cutscene where you sort of see the remnants of one of the monsters of Silent Hill, but we just skip past that. Another interesting byproduct of the text storage is all objects are currently despawned. So just to my left here, there should be a car, but it is currently despawned because the game doesn't think I'm where I'm at right now. And with that, I'm about to do a little funny sort of swag strat, I guess, trick thing that I like to do, just because I think it's funny, which is the appearing body trick. So if I release game saved coming up here as I'm coming into this corner, oh, there's a body there. Where'd that come from? So now I've picked up the apartment key and we're going to our first sort of actual part of gameplay where we get to go through the apartments and pick up stuff and solve puzzles and all of the fun stuff that you usually see in Silent Hill. But again, we still don't get to see any further than 5 meters ahead of us, just to keep it tense and to keep everything suspicious. But yes, I'm very excited to see. I'm hoping for dog ending. Just putting it out there. If you haven't seen me shilling it in chat, dog ending is by far my favorite ending for this game. So, and if
Yes,
you
we
haven't,
have a donation incentive here. You can donate to decide what ending we do. The options are the standard ending, the UFO ending, or the dog ending. Currently, dog is winning with $50.
fantastic. So now I no longer have to game save because stamina doesn't affect the inside of buildings. So it's only outdoors that I have to absolutely crank my right bumper button. If you see game saved, it's usually just because I need something to do with my fingers. So we're picking up the flashlight here, and oh no, a mannequin has come to life. We better just run out the door and never look at it again. Another sort of monster there. They don't really do anything to us on beginner, so I just sort of disregard any sort of monster like that. They sometimes spray stuff, but you do not get hit by it in beginner. So all of apartments is just basically just picking up stuff and moving through the apartments, and there's no real puzzle solving. I guess it's just all about
evil.
I guess it's all just about routing. There's a shopping cart here.
You don't get to turn shame you don't get to turn the things around.
Ah.
The 3D.
About that, going back to Resident Evil, this game actually has 2 modes of walking. There is tank controls and directional controls. I'm currently using directional controls because they're just easier. That being said, I do have to remember where the camera is going. Also here I'm going to skip the scream and just go straight through that just by using the game save button. But I can't do anything unless I click the run button like that. And then, oh, Pyramid Head's there in the background, but we just do not care. Pyramid Head must get very confused when James is just running around the apartments, not even looking at him. Just pure disrespect from James, honestly. But now we are picking up some keys, and we will find the first RNG puzzle of the game, which is the clock. So the clock always needs to be pointing at 9:20, and you want the RNG to be as close to 9:20 as possible. Obviously anywhere across from like 3 o'clock is pretty bad RNG, and because I'm not a top runner, that is not a reset point for me. But once you get towards the sort of top 10, top 5 position, if you get bad RNG at the clock, you're just going to have a bad time. So we're going to go back into the clock room, and we are going to see what the RNG gods have given us. Alright, in here, battling with camera angles. Oh, this is bad RNG, I can see it already. This is not good. Oh, that is almost the worst RNG we could have gotten. Marathon luck, am I right? Okay, so now we just get to sit here and wind this clock back. And we got there, cool. The hitbox for that 920 is actually quite forgiving, so it's like you can just sort of stop anywhere on the 2, and it doesn't really matter. Just battling with camera angles. You'll see me 360 a lot when I'm changing camera angles. It's just all a bit of fun. Porting PlayStation games to PC, who knew it'd be kinda difficult? Also, my left bumper is to change the camera. As you'll see, I changed the camera there. I flipped it around, so we now see our first glimpse of Pyramid Head there. I just skipped the cutscene because it's slow. In the actual game, the in-game timer, a lot of the cutscenes don't matter towards the in-game timer, but some of them do. So it's just best to skip all the cutscenes. But yes, so now we have gotten the key. We are about to go to the next set of apartments. This game sort of has, I couldn't really, off the top of my head, I can't really say, but it's just a bunch of specific maps, basically, where we have like the apartments, then we go to the hospital, then we go to then we go to the historical society, then we go across the lake. It's just a bunch of different sort of maps where you have to solve puzzles and sort of get through the game and defeat bosses, which is very fun in beginner because the bosses do not take many hits to kill, and it's just a lot of fun. Okay, so game save again as we are running outside to the next puzzle. So I've just picked up some canned juice there. It doesn't say what flavor. Pitchy, do you have a favorite flavor of canned juice?
I'm going to say Kickapoo Joy Juice, the Singaporean knockoff of Mountain Dew.
There we go. So that's what we are now dropping through the trash chute. Skip that cutscene, and we have to now go down and grab a key. I know that Softman, when he has watched me infamously, has said that this is the dumbest puzzle he has ever seen in a video game, because how would anyone know to drop a can of juice down a rubbish chute? Who knows? It just happens, okay?
Softman, play some more Quest for Glory or Police Quest games.
Oh. So now we are going out into the courtyard to pick up another coin. So the current objective here is to get 3 coins, to get a key to go into an apartment, to get another key to leave the apartments. Fantastic game writing, honestly. Thank you, Konami. So there was a minor glitch there that I used where I swapped weapon as I hit the fall animation, which cancelled the fall animation. It is used, I think, once again later on in the run. It saves frames. Like, that's all I can say. So coming up here is a cutscene that we have to trigger, otherwise we soft-lock the game. It adds a bit to the story, but we don't care about a story. We're speedrunners. Okay. There you go. We got a bit of fan service there. We get a little crack, a little glimpse into the plot of this game. But again, we skipped the cutscene. So we're going back into the apartments again, and we're going to find our way into that apartment where we will get some more keys. My favorite part about this game.
We have $25 from Mango Punch. Good luck, Jimmy, from your horror cousins at the Resident Evil community. But I do have to ask, how can you just sit there and eat pizza? Donation goes towards the dog ending.
Fantastic. Yeah, so what Mango Punch is referencing there is actually the cutscene that I kinda don't want to skip. In all of its hilarity, James, surprisingly, it's a thing amongst the Silent Hill community that the actual protagonists of Silent Hill do not go through any duress going into this Silent Hill, where they're going under all of this stress, but they just don't care. So we're gonna see the lady that we saw at the graveyard again. We're gonna skip that and pick up a coin. She's given us a kitchen knife, which we do not use, but we've got one now anyway. So we're about to use these coins that we've just picked up to get the key to get into the apartment. So this is where a keyboard comes into play, where I'm going to use my mouse and keyboard to put the coins into place just because it's quicker. I'm going to pause the game to skip the animation. I'm going to put another coin into place. So we only need 3 coins, and these are the 3 that I've got here. And then we're going to put this one right here. Alrighty. So that is now open. We get the Lynn house key, and we're going to go back upstairs. So about the difficulty, the beginner difficulty, bosses don't take many hits, and we pretty much disregard any sort of enemy because they're either too slow or they don't do enough damage. This is actually a really good example of me fighting with camera angles to get the right movement. I actually did okay there. I'm usually really bad at guessing these camera angles. So we're about to go to our first boss fight where we go up against Pyramid Head. In reality, I just sink 6 shots into him and he's dead. Oh, well, it's not dead, he just runs away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he just goes, you know what? I like the cut of your jib. I'm just going to walk away now. But we can't get too close to him or otherwise he will swing for us. So we've just got to slowly sort of make our way towards the stairs. Oh, we got the swing. So this takes a lot of time. He's very slow. He's... When you're ready, buddy. So now I'm just going to wait by the stairs here whilst the water drains. But yeah, there's boss fight number 1. Round of applause to everyone. It was very difficult, but I'm glad we got through it.
You know, he only takes one bomb to bomb a man in half.
Okay, so the water is now draining and we're going to go outside. We're going to go to the park. Once I attack these camera angles. So again, game saved because we are now outside. And it's still foggy. Man, you think like sort of midday the fog might clear, but it's still just hanging around. Cutscene there, we see the child, Laura. Just all plot, but we don't care about plot. We care about gameplay. We care about shooting Pyramid Head until he walks away.
Yeah, that's what
Rosewater
Silent Hill 2 is about.
Exactly.
Doing awesome gun things.
Yeah, exactly. I use
There's no
a
subtext to this game.
no deeper meaning. It's just an action game.
German expressionism? What's that? That just means it looks cool and European.
I'm using that one from now on. Thank you. So coming up, I'm about to grab the next the key for the doghouse. There we go. Which will unlock dog ending. So yeah, I'm sort of dipping my toes in both pools until the end where I'm gonna dive into one of them. So we've got the blue gem for the UFO ending, and then we've got the dog key. Yo, a doghouse? But where's the dog?
There's no dogs here.
Hey, what the dog doing? So we're gonna pick up the steel pipe here because we're gonna use it later in the Toluca prison to find a door. I'm gonna give you only that context, and you guys have to piece together the rest of the information. So we pick up this steel pipe, and then we're off to the bowling alley where we're gonna see my favorite cutscene. I'm going to show it purely because it's just absurd. The voice acting, fantastic. Okay.
Yes, remember with these clues we give you along the way, this is an ARG. You will learn about the exciting new Uwe Boll movie, Silent Hill, you can be watching when you solve the mystery.
Okay, so this is the cutscene here. I'm just gonna let this play.
Eddie?
Oh, you're...
James. We met in the apartment building?
Yeah, I remember, but...
Are you alone here, Eddie?
No.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Eddie, let's go after her.
Huh? Laura? But why?
Laura. Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters.
How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
Forget you. Such a good cutscene. But yeah, so that there's actually a theory that Ecdysis brought up at GDQ, and that because Silent Hill is different for everyone, that Eddie is actually fighting a giant pizza-themed boss there. Because how could he get a fresh pizza in Silent Hill? That's a good question.
Maybe he's got that SCP that just gives you a hot, fresh pizza every time you talk to it.
Yo, that is a good theory. I like that one. I like that one a lot. We're just skipping some cutscenes here, and we're about to hear the best part of the score right here, the Heavenly Knights theme. Get your sour pleases in chat, please, boys. The Heaven's Night, not Heavenly Night. So we're outside again, so we're going to be game saving. We're on our way to the hospital. The second most, I would say the second most famous sort of character from Silent Hill, the Silent Hill nurse. We'll be going up against a bunch of them. But yeah, it's just a bunch of different mazes really, so you just gotta sort of know where to go. But coming up here there will be two codes that I will be writing down, because I will forget them. So there's a minor glitch there that whenever I see blue text I can spam game saved and my A button, because I'm using an Xbox controller. I can spam my A button and it will skip through the entire of the blue text. And it's just easier, it's quicker. There seems to be a theme to what I'm saying about speedrunning, is you've got to go fast. So now we're gonna get...
Oh, is that what it does?
Yeah, we're gonna get the vent needle here and just a shotgun that's just sitting out in a locker. Our three main weapons of choice in this run are the pistol, the shotgun, and the steel pipe. There is a rifle, however we do not use it in this run. So here's the first of the codes that I will be writing down. Oh, once he actually looks at the typewriter, I'm gonna go through here. What do we got? 7779. That one's easy to remember. So now we're off to the roof. Again, fighting with camera angles. Yes, another thing about beginner is this has auto aim. So if you're not looking directly at a door and there's an enemy nearby, you will aim towards them. So here we've got a code that's always the same. It is always 7335. And we will go through here to go get the roof key. Skip another cutscene, pick up the roof key, try not to talk to Maria, because that will just slow you down. And now we are off to the roof, because we have the roof access key. Now, what could be happening at the roof? I hear you guys saying in Twitch chat. We're just going to walk around, change the camera a bit. What was that noise? Oh my god, it's Pyramid Head.
Told
we're
you,
gonna
one
skip
bomb. That's all it takes.
So we're now on critical health, and we're going to walk into this room and see the secondary code that I'm going to write down. Is 9813. I hope that's a 9. The font, or like the art that they used for those numbers is not very good. There's been many times I've had to restart runs because I have written the code wrong, purely because that the blood font, I guess you can call it, is a bit dodgy. We're just gonna skip
If
these
it's not a 9,
numbers.
it's lowercase g.
Oh, it's all numbers, so that's at least easy. So here we're gonna combine two keys and use them at the same time so that we can open the box. Now we're going to input these codes using my mouse. 7779 and then 9813. Okay, it was that code. Very good. I was stressing so hard about that going into this run. I was like, it better not be a really hard to read number. Like, some of the 7s look like 1s and some of the 1s look like 7s, and it's just not a fun time. But we're going to use that thin piece of hair and that bent needle to fish out a key. Because definitely, hair is strong enough to pick up keys. If you don't trust me, try it yourself. Again, we're going to hybrid play using our mouse here. Go down to the first floor.
I mean, have you ever had to clean out a large amount of hair from a bathroom plug? It is quite common.
So we've got another boss fight coming up here, which is called Flesh Lips. We're going to swap to our shotgun. And then we're going to shoot one. Dead. Shoot 2. Wait for it to die. And then there's 2 locations, over there and then here, so we've got pretty good RNG. And it went quick as well, so aces. So we're going to do our first UFO ending setup. Just in case. What could that be in the sky? Who knows? We may never find out. Okay, so now we're back into the hospital. So there's 2 worlds in Silent Hill. There's there's like the underworld and there's the regular world. We have now transitioned into the other world. Yeah, I meant otherworld, not underworld. That's my bad. So now we're just picking up supplies for more puzzles, some keys, some health, and then we're going back in the elevator again. And the elevator scenes you can't skip, which is unfortunate. Except for one. So we're gonna go the other way because I forgot which way to go. And we're gonna go find Maria again and grab our first ring. The walking downstairs is definitely a hard one with the camera angles. Like angling your stick in the right way is very tiresome. So we are now in the basement. We're gonna open this, and she's gonna be like James, and we're gonna just skip that. But now we are on our way to get the second key so that we can go to our, again, third quote-unquote boss fight, where the object of the boss fight is run. It's just run. We're going back to the elevator again. Go back to the second floor, because now we have a second person. Also, there's the one elevator thing you can skip. So we need a second person to help us here because we are too weak to pick up the door to this fridge that has fallen over. But we now have Maria, so we can now open it and get the lead ring to go back up and open the door with the hands. It's the best way I can describe it. It's just a door with hands.
Devil May Cry door.
The Devil May Cry door. There you go.
Yeah, what's your orb collection rating for this run?
Great question. Next question. But yeah, so we put the rings on the hands, and now the door will open. Just before the nurse gives us a big whacking with a steel rod, so it is good. We are now going down to our next encounter with Pyramid Head, where I'm just going to run in straight lines. Ready? Let's go. We turn, we turn, we turn, we turn. It doesn't even matter which way I turn the stick. I've just got to wiggle it. He can hit Maria all he wants.
So wiggling the stick when engaging with Pyramid Head.
Correct. So we now have to leave her behind. It's very sad. But we are almost finished with the hospital section. Very exciting. A new change of scenery. We are going to skip the blue text using the game save glitch, and then this is all pretty much auto-scroller. We've just got to run around Silent Hill, pick up a wrench, go pick up a key. If you've got any donos, now is definitely the time to do it.
Don't forget you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. We are raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity that raises awareness of and support for people with mental health issues. So you, beyond donating at the site donate.ozspeedruns.com, for every subscription on Twitch, we will be donating a further $2.50 from that. So if you've got, say, an Amazon Prime subscription and haven't used your free Twitch sub for a month, you can use that to donate as well.
Fantastic. So another caveat with having low health, which is obviously the big flashing plus in the bottom right. You have less stamina, so I will be game saving a little bit quicker. There's been many a run where I've forgotten to do that, and I'll be like, why am I running so slow? And then I'll be like, stamina. Yeah, that's a thing my character has. But yeah, this is around, I think, 6 minutes or so of just running through Silent Hill at night. And at one point, even spookier, we turn the torch off. Because when you're in the dark and you turn the torch off and you try to open a map, your character says, like, we can't do that. And we can use that text as basically like a portable text storage. But now we get to see the monsters that cling on to the cage. I don't know the monsters' names. I should probably look that up.
I think it's UFC fans.
That's a really good one. But yeah, they can shoot up and sort of... They don't really do much damage. It's just an inconvenience. But so, yeah. Apparently it's too dark to read the map. So we game save and store that text. Because that trigger that we skipped with the second text storage earlier, that trigger still exists. So there's a giant wall that happens if we do not store the text, where we just can't pass it. There is a way to pass it, but it's very difficult. Text storage is easy. But yes, taking in the sights of Silent Hill here. One of my favorite little bits of Silent Hill that like makes me giggle every time I see it is there's a billboard that we run past that says like your ad here in big letters. So now we are past that trigger, we can turn our torch back on just to know where we are. We're gonna pick up this wrench here, skip the animation there, and we're gonna store the text because we have to run back through the trigger. But yeah, this is good. You guys can play at home. You guys can map out Silent Hill 2 for yourself just by watching me do this. It's what I did when I learnt the game. I had a piece of paper and I watched the speed run, and I mapped out mentally where I had to run during this part.
So speaking of advertising, what are your thoughts on growing strong and healthy?
Oh, I think everyone should grow up strong and healthy. Eat their vegetables, drink their milk. Or if you're lactose intolerant, drink your alternative milk. I do partake in a bit of oat milk every now and again.
No support of Minmo Cat Foods Minmo here?
Ah! We love Minmo's cat food.
We love Comic Sans on advertising.
So here I can turn the torch back on. I could stop the game saved, but that actually spawns enemies again. I just don't want to see the nurse. But yeah, we're back to having our torch on. We have no triggers that we have to run through. That is a door that I have to make sure I'm not game saving as I go through, because that text glitch I was talking about actually soft locks the game coming up. So I'm very hesitant when going through that door that it does not say game saved on the screen. So there I'm going to just change the camera so that it is a bit more favorable. It is behind me. I'm going to do it again because we want to see where we're going, not where we've been. But we're about to use that wrench that we picked up to open up a case in the ground. A case, I would say it is a case. And we're gonna get more keys. My favorite. So we're gonna stand over this case here and we're gonna use the wrench. And wouldn't you know it, we've got an old bronze key. So we are gonna use that to get into the Historical Society. Words are hard. Again, this is all just running in darkness.
I mean, the darkness is more effectively handled than Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu's was.
Yes.
Really bright.
I mean, I could turn my torch off and I can still see around. If I turn my torch off, I can probably see further than during the daytime with the fog. So, thanks,
You gotta
Konami.
save the power for the doors, you know? Stop those animatronics getting in.
Oh no, not the animatronics. Alrighty, another long straight stretch of road. There's one billboard. So coming up is the billboard I was talking about, where it says your ad here. It's not that one. That one's the Toluca Lake one, I believe. There it is. Oh, it just says your ad.
And that's basically been some of the advertising billboards around here. Or
Yeah.
trying to get some advertising space in. Oh, it does have a real powerful got milk energy though, the way it's laid out there.
Just your ad. Okay, so now we are at the Historical Society, which will then transition into Toluca Prison, which is another yet maze-like map. We get to walk down another long, seemingly endless corridor, sort of LBJ energy.
Just picturing James here trying to do a long jump. Just Yahoo, Yahoo.
To go and finally beat Pyramid Head once and for all. Trust me, we do get rid of that health symbol very soon. We just haven't found any health packs yet. Don't worry, the end of the corridor is coming up, trust me.
So we backwards long jump, then we swing Pyramid Head into a mine, bingo, so long, game metaphors.
Yep. Okay, so there we go. So coming up here, we will finally use the steel pipe that I got. So we're gonna transition over to the steel pipe and go up against this door. Make sure I don't hit that schmans there. We're gonna jump down the big hole and we are going to find our way over to here. I'm gonna use my keyboard to auto aim. Nope, further across, auto aim, then 1 and 2. And surprisingly, I've just broken the wall down and we now have a door. I'm gonna use that fall glitch again. We now skip that animation and we now have our pistol out. Coming up is Bug Room Skip. It is a pretty interesting skip where I pick up the key. I'm gonna have to do this, ready? I pick up the key. Well. Now, I should have the key in my inventory. I do not. We're going to try that again. Okay, we got the spiral key. We're going to game saved, and then we're going to reload the save. And now the key is on the ground, and we have the key in our inventory. That skips a giant section of just pure RNG. Like, it's just a keypad, and we have to guess. So I actually was so scared that I softlocked the game just then. But we jump down this hole here, and then we grab our first of the plates. Again, this game is all metaphors. So we grab these plates, we walk up here. So we are now in Toluca Prison. And James has to face his demons. We have another one of these boys getting in the way, but get around him quite easily. Again, see, they're just pretty much harmless. Honestly, their bark is worse than their bite. You can hear the shuffling there. I'm gonna go in here and grab the wax head. If anyone can translate what he's saying there, I would be greatly appreciated. So we're gonna go grab the last plate that we need for the hangman puzzle. It is this one. I always get that one confused. So we gotta click on this door 3 times for it to open. We've got to backtrack again to go put the plates in. Then we'll get another puzzle piece to another puzzle. A puzzle piece for a puzzle. How bizarre. Okay, so we open up here and then we can combine all of these 3 all at once so that we can use them all at the same time so we don't have to cycle through the animation 3 times. And that is unfortunate. There's a very haunting noise right there. So now we've picked up the horseshoe. And this is another one. I feel like I'm with Softy on this one. The canned juice one, not so much. This is my canned juice. Is this part coming up here? So we've got well, we haven't got the lighter yet. We're about to pick up the lighter. We have a lighter, a wax doll head, and a horseshoe. And we have a giant hatch that needs opening. What do you do? What is a man to do? Well, James, being the absolute MacGyver he is, he's going to take this... Yeah, take that one, and take that one. And he's going to melt the wax into the crater and then put the horseshoe in it. And then that opens up the hole. Fantastic. What a MacGyver moment. So now we are going to jump down a series of holes. So there
No,
was
that
one.
checks out.
There's two. And then 3. And now we get the long elevator scene. So again, if you have anything to plug. Oh, we finally got that first aid kit as well. So I can click H and now the red plus is gone. So yeah, this is just a long auto scroller. So
Well, we do have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you to everyone involved in such a great event. Please put this towards the Charon Super Boss fight. We sure will, Anon. Let's get over
thank
to that
you
Charon
so much.
Super- There we are. Yes, we are now at 344, so we still need $160 to get that one done. We still need $230 to get Fantasy Zone in. Still need $490 for a short hike. So get those donos in. Is the elevator still going?
Yes.
What a thrill. With darkness and silence tonight. What a thrill.
So coming up, we are now out of the elevator. We now have the labyrinth level, which again, surprisingly guys, is a maze. This one has a couple of interesting little tech pieces in it as well. A lot of walking through water and avoiding those monsters. We unfortunately do have to shoot one, which is unfortunate. But so we solve that puzzle. And we go down in here and we get to see, yet again, our female protagonist.
Are you Maria?
So these wire cutters have a really jank hitbox, so you have to make sure you get the wire cutters and you don't walk down the ladder. The hitboxes sort of line up for the most part. And coming up is a cutscene that the sound of James cutting wire shivers my spine to its core. I don't know what it is about the sound. I'm gonna skip it, but it's just such an annoying sound.
Yeah, we call this sanity skip. It's about maintaining our own sanity.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a person came into my chat whilst I was doing this level, and he said this whole part took him 3 days, and it took me like I think 6 or 7 minutes. So we're gonna shoot this guy here. He's just gonna run away, apparently. Because we can't just push past this one, unfortunately. Again, it's coming face to face with these monsters and getting them out of the way as quickly as possible. Going up ladders and just knowing where to go is sort of the main trick to this level. It is, for the most part, down and right when above ground, and when in the water, it's forward and left. But there are exceptions. So here I'm going to store text to skip a boss fight. And then we've got another huge part of RNG here, which is called the Arsonist. So one of these bodies says that they were tried for arson. And that is the one. So we got Arsonist 3. When you're a higher runner, you just always guess number 1. And if it isn't number 1, you reset. But we got number 3, so it means we go over to this news here and we pull down that one. There is a program called Lucky Hill, because this game is obviously run on a seed, and the seeding for the RNG in this game is actually tied to how many frames the main menu goes through before you start the game. So if you enter your first couple of RNG things, like your clock and your typewriter. Oh man, your typewriter, it will give you the rest, most likely, of your RNG. Sorry, it has just started bucketing down rain here, and it just sort of threw me off guard.
Yeah, the storm's kicking in real bad here as well.
Yeah. But anyway, we press on. We're about to get out of the labyrinth. We've just got a couple of more cutscenes to go through. Also, if people say Silent Hill 2 doesn't have one of the best soundtracks of any horror game, they're absolutely lying.
Just the soundscape in general.
The sound design in this game is just unrivaled, really.
Yeah, I don't know any of the production stories for the sound of this game, though. I'm always reminded of the Dead Space airlock sound, where they got a recorder next to a train in a tunnel in San Francisco breaking. That's what the
Fantastic.
airlock is in Dead Space.
So this is another seemingly endless tunnel going to another boss fight, which is probably the funniest of all the boss fights. So you're supposed to go up against Eddie, and it takes 2 bullets. 1, and then we swap to our shotgun. And 2, and there's the boss fight. So next I'm going to do the next setup for UFO ending, just in case someone comes in and snipes it. And also it's just kind of cool. Wonder what those could be. So next up we have the infamous lake scene, where you just go across the lake in your boat. Just honestly, like, where's the crossover between Fisherman's Bait and Silent Hill 2? Oh, just a man wants to fish.
Oh no, giant fish that you have to fight with unlimited harpoons.
So
Time
yeah,
event, get the tentacle off your leg.
absolute Lovecraftian horror. So yeah, this is about 2.5 minutes, so if there's anything you need to read, go nuts.
Well, I would like to remind people to donate. This is the Australian Speedrun Marathon. We are playing through games quickly to raise money for Beyond Blue, a charity that does support and awareness work for people with mental health problems and mental health in general. We have broken $8,000. We still have plenty of incentives that you can donate towards. The ending of this game, the dog ending, is currently winning on 75. If you really want to see the standard or the UFO endings, get your bids in. Otherwise, I'm really gonna plug the Charon Super Boss fight. Only needs $160 more, including Fantasy Zone with the Master System bosses. That still needs $230 more, and a Short Hike still needs $490. So those are really good things. We always love adding more games to the list, like we did VVV earlier. So get your money in if you want to see some more games.
Fantastic. So we're coming up on the end of the lake here. And then we are in our last location, which is the house. So the main puzzle for this is finding all of the music boxes, which here is the first one, is the Little Mermaid music boxes. They are all themed off... what's the word for them?
Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, so there's the Little Mermaid, Snow White, and the Cinderella music box. So
Fairy tales.
fairy tales. There we go. For some reason, I was thinking nursery rhymes, but I was like, that is definitely not correct. So coming up here is an interesting glitch where we turn off our flashlight and we use text storage to go out of bounds. This might take me a bit, so just bear with me. I've been doing okay in this, but knowing marathon luck. Oh, we almost got it there. There is a consistent setup to this using your keyboard, but I do not have the keybind set up for that. But we did get it, second go. So now we just run off into the distance, hit the load point, which is there. Now I have to wait. Okay. Okay, I hear myself. We should be coming into bounds any second now. There we go. I'm always super stressed about that trick because it's all auditory. Like you just have to have a keen ear to find exactly where James is in relation to inbounds. But yeah, there we go. We've picked up the infamous Silent Hill videotape, the bit that made everyone very sad. But we will get to use it if we use dog ending, but I will not be showing it because it's a cutscene and I just want to skip it. But yes, we are almost coming up on the ending, so I think once I put the music boxes in, that's when we'll cut off the incentives. But that's still...
I'm pretty confident in this dog.
Yeah, I am too, but you never know. There are just people that like to come through and snipe. UFO ending is okay, but just dog ending is just a different breed of ending. That wasn't supposed to be a dog pun, but it is now. Got a light bulb to put into the torch on the bar. Now I need to remember to pick up the paint thinner here because there is too many runs that I've done where I've forgotten to grab the paint thinner for the puzzle upstairs and I have to reset. So I got the can of thinner. With Lucky Hill, it actually gets rid of the need for the thinner, but I don't use Lucky Hill or anything. I'm not good enough to need an RNG manipulator. I just cop the RNG. So we're going to use the fish key that we picked up in the restaurant. Open up and get yet another key. If you couldn't tell, there's there is items in this game that are very similar to each other. There's a lot of keys.
6 keys one way, half a dozen keys the other.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, now we're going to use that thinner here, just sort of anywhere on the ground when I find the right spot to use it. There we go. So this briefcase has a 4-letter word, so it is null for this run. I think there's 16 different codes you can use. N-U-L-L. That gives us the last music box. And we are off to put them all in place. And we are pretty much at the end of the game here. We've got a couple of little minor glitches coming up. So I'm going to use the game saved action to break out of the cutscene of the music box playing. Just because we can. So I play the music box, I click game saved, and I can now run during the cutscene. So that takes me over to the information desk quicker, so I can get the key quicker. Now we can go back and grab the stairway key. And we are off on our way to put... Okay, so that was where the incentive ended off. Are we still dog ending? No snipes?
Yes, we are.
Fantastic. So, in dog ending, we actually play the videotape here. Once I sort of get into position. So the hitbox here is kind of jank, so I might not get this on the first... Okay, I did. Fantastic. Okay, so we hear a strange noise coming from the hallway. We go over to this door and we open it. Oh my god, it was a dog the whole time! I'm just gonna let this cutscene play.
When's time?
Now.
お前の
Just
仕業だったのか
Oh. Good boy. And then here's the best song in the game. Get your sour pleasers in. Dog does not like Eddie. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish that there just for time. But thank you everyone. That was Silent Hill 2. We ended up finishing in an in-game time of 45 minutes and 17 seconds. We got dog ending. Thank you so much to the Silent Hill speedrunning community. Thank you to Oz Speedruns for letting me run Outlast, Amnesia Justine, and Silent Hill 2. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for the next in-person event. And shout out to the Nivea gang. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you very much, Jimmy Boy, for your services, bringing us all the spooks and scares and thrills and chills. Coming up next, we have Herc's Adventures, being run on a PlayStation 3, it's a PlayStation 1 game. After that will be Need for Speed Most Wanted, then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, so stick around. Plenty of fun games coming up. We'll be back shortly.